In 2014, our goal was to educate and inspire the next generation of young Black leaders. So we set out to find the nation's best of the best to reveal the secrets to success. Our belief is that we should teach the young early the things that we learn late. Our lives are shifting the culture. Our lives are changing the narrative. This is the SHineHard conversation. Live, we rolling? All right, let's do it. Welcome back to a season 4 episode of the SHineHard conversation. I'm your host, Johnny Bailey, and this week I'm here in Washington, D.C. at Tech Hub N3 with entrepreneur and multimedia producer Julian Mitchell.
What's up, man?
So how you feeling, bro?
I feel great. It's a beautiful space. I love DC. It's been a great weekend.
Yeah.
Good energy.
Yeah. Rocky City weekend, man.
Rocky City was dope. Rocky City was really dope. We were talking a little bit about the types of people. You get a really good mix of people. You get creatives, entrepreneurs, you get artists, you know, musicians, people who, you know, are all coming together, but it's all about community. Yeah. And I think you can feel that. Absolutely. You know, it's not a regular festival, it's really people coming together to build and connect with each other in a real way.
They've really taken a charity philanthropic purpose and made it into an epic experience for everyone.
It's thriving communities is their theme. Yep. And it's also about how do you make this lifestyle cool. Yeah. And I think they took the elements, right, of fashion, music, career, all these different things and made it something people can digest. They have. Yeah. And what's really cool, man, to talk about your background a little bit. I know currently you're a columnist at Forbes. Correct. You've done roles at Complex. You've done some things at Huffington Post. Correct. And most notably, he's done some amazing things working alongside Sean Diddy Combs to launch Revolt in 2013. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2013. I want to talk more about that too, man. Yeah. And you were also recognized by LinkedIn as one of their top voices. Yes. Yeah. What was that experience like? Just an honor. You know, that was an honor just because I don't do this work to be to get the praise or the recognition. I really do that. Like one of the mantras, we were talking about mantras, is just stay focused and do the work. Yeah. You know, and like for me, I feel like that's all I really represented. And I've been putting out, if you ever looked at any work that I've done, it's always been consistent, you know, with you're either inspired, informed, or enlightened. Like it has to fit one of those three things. So I just think to have LinkedIn, which funny enough was unknowingly a platform that provided and brought a lot of opportunity to me. Yeah, man. To see it come full circle and have their editorial team always show so much love and then be recognized for that was just another full circle moment that just felt good. It feels good. Like to know you're making an impact is what feels good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because that's why we do the work. To leave a legacy and make an impact.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say, you know, we do this, you know, for the culture, to shape the culture, to uplift the culture, but
shine for the culture.
That takes a lot of work.
It does.
It doesn't just sound cool. You know, like it takes a lot of hours, a lot of work, a lot of extra effort to do that. And that's stuff you do by yourself that you
when nobody's
don't even
watching.
Expect anybody to know you were up those extra hours or working triple, double time. Like,
bro. Preach, bro. Yeah. So that's funny you said that because so many people probably know you for your success and your recognition, but oftentimes people don't know the story behind the story. Yeah. So talk a little bit about your childhood and what growing up was like for you.
Yeah, well, for me, I was born in Seattle, Washington. You know, my brother was born in Alaska. My mother was young. She was a young mom. So she had my brother as a teenager. She had me barely in her 20s. So when she had us, it was really difficult too because of, you know, her circumstances socially, what she was going through. Right. So my grandmother ended up, you know, taking us in. So when I was a kid, it was me, my brother, and my grandmother. And my grandmother was already much older. So she was bedridden. Like we had a hospital bed in the crib.
In the crib?
And you know, it was like, and it was one of those things too where it's like they say, right, when you grow up in it, you don't know anything different. So when we were coming up, it was just us and our grandma in this house, Section 8 house.
That was life.
Taking food stamps to AM, PM, you know, to do what you got to do, cleaning the house for the inspections, like the whole thing. But we didn't know anything else. But when I was coming up, it was like when they say it takes a village, it was a community of people who had their hands in my life, right? It would be the football coach, it would be the teacher, you know, I had the big brother, I was a part of the big brother, big sister program.
We had to kind of find role models in the community.
Or they were finding me.
True.
You know, because I didn't really realize, I grew up without both my parents, so I didn't realize what that even meant for, like, as a kid. You're just a kid, you know, you want to play, you want to go to school, stuff like that. But as I was coming up though, I didn't realize also at that time I was left to my imagination. So the way people say struggle builds character, I also say struggle shows you the power of your imagination. Because when you don't have anything in front of you, you tangibly don't have much, but you also don't have examples, you don't have the blueprint. You then are put in a position where you believe what you see for yourself in your mind. Like you start to develop visions and you're like, that's not what it is right now, but I see it. You know, you start to see it clearly. So when I was coming up at that time, man, we used to do things like we had little rituals because she was bedridden. So we used to watch Def Comedy Jam late at night. She had a record player. She used to play certain records every morning. We had the alarm clock radio. So I would turn on Cube 93 in Seattle and like memorize all the songs on the radio and like jump on the bed. And then it would get to a point where I memorize all the lyrics. That's why to this day it takes me like two times to hear a song and I know all the lyrics to the song.
That's crazy.
But it was just like all these times where the point of that is like, and I would watch Rap City all day. I would watch like MTV Jams all day. Like when they would freestyle in the booth, I would rap with the TV. So it's like those types of things coming up. I always loved reading as a kid. Like even when I didn't necessarily know how to read, I used to grab the books and open the pages and try to like make the stories up. But all that to say,
how did those humble beginnings help you find purpose in your life?
I would say when I was a kid, when my grandmother passed away, when she passed away, my mom then came in the picture. Right? And so I had to move to Las Vegas from Seattle. And when I moved to Vegas, even though we didn't have much with my grandmother and it was like a tough time and it was a lot of growing up, when I went to Las Vegas, everything really changed. Like being in Las Vegas, you know, my mother went to prison like not too long after I got there. So she wasn't in the picture before, but then when we finally, after she passed, we came together, she ended up going to prison for a while, you know, like over a decade of time. So when that happened, you know, we were on the street for a while. Like we lived on the street, my brother and I, we, you know, switched hotels, lived in cars, stayed at friends' houses, slept on all kinds of floors, did all kinds of wild stayed
all those things help mold you into
because at that time it's like you hit rock bottom, right? And you don't know what it means.
Where else can you go but up? Yeah,
you don't know what it means. You're just like, this is my life, and it's really hard to digest because at this time you're not thinking about career, you're not thinking about nothing. You're literally thinking about how am I going to survive the next month. So fast forward, when I finally got older, and why I have the GOE on my neck, the God over everything on my neck, is it found purpose because when I finally was in a position, so I emancipated myself at 14. I got adopted at 14.
Wow.
And
how did you even know about that?
I got tired of because I had a stepfather too. My sister's father who was married to my mom after. Because my father was serving a life sentence in prison, but he ended up getting out not too long ago. But he was serving a life sentence, so I grew up thinking he had passed away. So when she remarried my sister's father, it was really hard for him. So he would be in and out, is the short of it. Like he wasn't really around, he'd be in and out. But when he would come back, you know, he had his problems, like drinking problems and stuff. So we would get into it, and it just happened to be that one day when we got into it, it got really physical. And I remember going to school the next day, and I was just like, I'm done. Like, because I'm sleeping on the floor of a house with no furniture, no food in the refrigerator, and nobody's around. And I'm waking up, throwing my stuff in a bag, and going to school every day. So I was like, I got up one day and I said, you know what? Somebody needs to contact my mom at the prison, get this paperwork, and I'm out. You know, and so I literally got, you know how you have student aid? So I had to be in the switchboard, and the lady who I was working with in student aid, She like showed me where to go, like helped me figure out where to go.
Yeah.
And I had to grow up early, man, with my grandmother. So I had this mentality at 13 that I just was a grown. I don't know what it was. But I went to a law office, took them the paperwork, told them I had to leave. They were looking at me like, what?
Amen.
Like, you're 13?
When your parents aren't in your life, you definitely have to grow up on your own a little bit. You have to figure out your own way. It's a lot of self-discovery.
But yeah, that's how it happened, man. And so my bus driver, or a bus driver who became my bus driver in middle school, ended up adopting me.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was a fluke. Like, he saw like what I was going through.
He saw you every day. He saw you every morning. So he understood.
No, he didn't. I was following a girl who rode the bus.
Oh.
Trying to like holler at her. She was the cutest girl in school at the time. And I used to get in trouble. Like, they used to threaten to suspend me because I used to go to the bus and I didn't ride the bus. So one day he's like, if you keep showing up here, I'm gonna like suspend you. I'm gonna, like, you might get expelled and kick you out. And the bus driver who would see me every morning was like, that's my nephew, like on a fly. And the dean just like went for it. Wow. He's like, okay.
He vouched and you was kind of good.
But he made a deal with me, right? A deal that ended up changing my life. He's like, so I'll let you get on the bus every day, but you have to talk to me every day. You got to ride the whole bus route. And then when we get done, we have to have a conversation, then I'm going to take you home. And then those conversations were like, what's going on at home? Like, why this? You know, why that? It was very like personal questions and like getting me to open up. And then over time, when he started really seeing how I was living and what was going on, and then one day he saw how I was living, he's like, nah, like, we got to start taking you with us. Right. And that just turned into, when I hit that breaking point, him and his wife were there to be like, you know what, if you don't have a place to go, like, we'll take you in. And so they did. Wow. But you talked about the purpose thing, is like that fueled all my purpose, because then as I got older, when I got in that new environment and I actually could like have the space to make sense of what was happening and see my own like power, like all that stuff I was talking about.
That positive environment.
That showed me purpose. It said, my purpose is to use my skills, my talents, my abilities to translate that perspective that the world has shaped for me and turn it into things that elevate the way other people think, the way other people live their lives. And so that was the whole purpose of everything I went through. So then when I went through high school and graduated, and when I went off to college, and when I did certain things, it was bridging the two worlds. It's like having nothing and then having access, and the two worlds come together to where I can inspire somebody who was like me, who literally came from that environment, but I also can inspire and show a perspective to somebody who did go to college and is a professional and does that. And I realized that's what my purpose was. That's where my power was at.
I think that's what we're all about here at SHineHard. It really is just teaching the young early the things that we learn late and helping them get to where we are, you know, figuring out the things that we know, man. Our goal is to help young Black boys and girls discover their passion and change the world, but we cannot do this without the help of the SHineHard community. Will you be the milestone donor that helps a 17-year-old Black girl learn the path of a plastic surgeon? Will you be the keystone donor that helps a 22-year-old graduate break through into the tech industry? We as a community can accomplish so much together, but the time to act is now. Here's what you can do. Scroll down, click donate, and invest in the future of our community. I'm Johnny Bailey, and together we shine.